Hey there, gang. Here is today's box of comic books, and as always, I have no idea what is in this box, but I'm going to pull everything out, and I invite you to look over my... I'm going to pull everything out. No, I'm going to pull the comic books out. It's not that kind of video. Friggin', roll the title. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghalla. My name is Duke, and no, I'm not whipping anything out. Anything other than the comic books. All right, so if you've seen these videos before, you know the spiel up front. I'm hesitant to give the spiel, even though I feel like I should for any new viewers who happen along, because the analytics, I've been looking at those, and it indicates that even though these unboxings are the most popular videos that I do on this channel, people on average only watch about half of them. So I'm thinking I should dispense with the boring stuff up front, but again, at the same time, I feel like, I have a sort of duty to let people know who I am, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it each time out. So if you've seen these videos before, skip ahead about, 60, 90 seconds. For the rest of you, I work for a company that buys and sells comic books. We buy collections from all over the world. They come to our warehouse in Freeport, Maine, where they are sorted into different sales streams. The big expensive books will go to CGC and be sold on a site called Comic Link. The mid-range books, the ones that we believe will sell for between $10 and $100 each, those we sell on eBay. The seller name is .com Comics, and those are given to me to grade. We grade every book that we sell on eBay. Everything else, it might go into a multi-book lot on eBay, or it might go into our retail store, which is .com Comics in Freeport, Maine, or it might go on one of our two websites. They are .comcomics.com and also sellmycomicbooks.com. And if you've got a collection that you would like to sell, sellmycomicbooks.com is where you would want to go. And a fellow you would speak to is named Ashley. Reach out to him through that website. Tell him Duke sent you. And well, other than that, I think that does it. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the groovy things, and let's get right to the comic books. And this first book, this one's a little rough. This is nasty. But even with the bottom third of the cover missing, this is X-Men 96. What is this? The fourth appearance of the new X-Men. So this should still bring at least $10. And the books that we sell on eBay as singles, as what we call raw singles, it's a one book lot. It's not slabbed or anything. It's just graded here by me. Well, not here in this video, but we like to get at least $10 for each of those. And I think, you tell me in the comments below what you think, but I think that will still bring at least $10, even with that bottom third of the cover missing. This one will certainly do well. This is X-Men number 101, the first Jean Grey as the Phoenix. Enter the Phoenix. This is 107, first appearance of the Imperial Guard. And all of these characters were based on members of the Legion of Superheroes, which artist Dave Cockrum had worked on before he came over to the X-Men. And if you don't know, it's a fascinating story. Cockrum had wanted a double-page splash that he had done for Superboy number 200. It featured the wedding of Duo Damsel and Bouncing Boy, which... just those names sound ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but I do love and revere those characters. I'm a big fan of the Legion. But it was a double-page spread that featured like every Legion character ever, and this was like 40, 50, 60 some odd characters. And he asked if he could get the artwork back, which wasn't common in those days, even in the early 70s. He was told no, and so in a kind of a fit of pique, he quit. Crossed the street, as it were, went over to Marvel, and all of these costumes for these ersatz Legionnaires in the Imperial Guard, those are all costumes that he had been working on, because he was in the middle of kind of redesigning all of the Legion costumes. So all of these could potentially have been new Legion costumes. And the other fascinating part of the story is a lot of the characters who became the new X-Men were characters that Cockrum was working on for the Legion. Storm is a cross between a couple of different characters, the costume from one, the powers and look from another. Colossus is kind of based on Pharaoh Lad. He was going to introduce Pharaoh Lad's brother into the Legion. Well, his brother had appeared before. Pharaoh Lad is a character who had died back in the 60s, and his brother had appeared before, but he was going to bring him back in. And Colossus is kind of based on that. And then Nightcrawler was wholly the creation of Dave Cockrum. And I say wholly because, Storm and Cyclops and, some of the others, they were, sort of co-creations with Chris Claremont or initially Len Wein. But Nightcrawler was almost entirely the work of Cockrum, and he was originally going to be an interdimensional demon. But yeah, that whole look he had developed already for the Legion, kept it when he came over to Marvel. Nightcrawler became an X-Man. Oh, cool. So I haven't seen one of these for a while. You used to get one of these in like every box, 2 or 3. But this is Amazing Spider-Man 252, the first appearance of the black costume. And this is a newsstand copy, so this should bring kind of a premium, a little bit of a multiplier factor over a direct sales edition. And here's Amazing Spider-Man 300, famous, very, very iconic book. And this one's also a newsstand, and so that same multiplier effect will hold true, even though this one is in much lower grade. You can see all of the spine ticks here. And yeah, that's another one that I haven't seen for a while, although I used to get 2 or 3 in every box. Avengers number 20 with Cap's Kooky Quartet. And it's funny these days when they've got 7 Avengers titles going at any moment, and every single character in the Marvel universe is a member of the Avengers. It's kind of funny to think back to a day when the Avengers was just these 4. I mean, it was almost like a Fantastic Four of its own. And at this point, these 3, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, had been members of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and Hawkeye had started out as a criminal. So these were all kind of reformed criminals fighting with Captain America. Just much, much different at that time, the title was. Amazing Spider-Man number 135. Here is, this one's a little beat up. I don't know if this one will bring at least $10, because it's pretty rough here, as you can see. Hopefully I don't have too much glare there. I've tried to adjust the lights here accordingly. I'm actually in the office today. But that is the first appearance of Dick Grayson in the Nightwing identity. Here is Star Wars number 1. Now you got to be careful with Star Wars because it exists in multiple formats. And what you really want is the one with the regular price box, the square price box, and a UPC code. That's a first print newsstand edition. This is a one of the later editions, and so there is one. You have to look it up in a price guide. There's about 6 or 7 different editions, but I believe this is the second Whitman edition. It says reprint here, and Whitman is that's the company that sold comic books. They licensed comic books from both Marvel and DC and sold them in 3-packs. They were a division of Western Publishing, which also published the Gold Key comics. If you're familiar with those, Gold Key went away in the early 80s, so you might have to be a little older to remember Gold Key, as am I. So this one is not nearly as valuable as the first print, as you might expect, but that's still at least a $10 book. Here's another one. Here is another one, and that might actually be a good video. I might save one of these out and then do a video. Well, it might take me a while to get every example. I might have to show some pictures of the different examples, but do a video with just showing you all the different Star Wars number 1s. This is a famous book. This one does super well. And this is, again, one you can, if you're listing it on eBay or wherever you're selling it, you can describe it as a newsstand copy, because by the time the cover prices went to 40 cents, that's when Marvel and then later DC began differentiating their newsstand copies from their direct sales copies. And, they would have the bar and the different pricing box. This one is a newsstand. So even though there were direct sales shops, when comics were 30, 35 cents, they didn't really differentiate them. They didn't, they looked exactly the same, so you really can't tell one from the other. But by the 40-cent era, that's when there was a difference. But anyway, this is the famous Demon in a Bottle story, which had been kind of building for some time, and I was a big, big fan of Iron Man at this point, under David Michelini and Bob Layton. And boy, this story just hit like a ton of bricks. Marvel was renowned for having characters that had, personal issues. They weren't just, cardboard cutouts of the iconic superhero template. But boy, when Tony became kind of a drunk, that was really a big, big deal. So, and again, as I say, it built up. It wasn't just all of a sudden one issue, bang, he's a drunk. It built up over time. But this is where he really realized he had a problem. So that's a big issue. Here's the first appearance of Madam Web, Amazing Spider-Man 210. Some talk that she may make some sort of appearance in the upcoming Spider-Man movies that will feature the multiverse. Rather it's the Doctor Strange movie or the Spider-Man movie or both. There's some thought that she might appear, so that could be a relatively safe investment. Amazing Spider-Man 238, first appearance of the Hobgoblin, and this is one you always want to check and see if you've got the tattoos, and it looks like they've been removed. Yep. So this one does not have the tattoos. If it had it, there would be a little envelope insert here, and I'm fairly impressed that they got it out without, because usually what happens is when the kid or adult collector, maybe, well, probably not a collector, just a consumer, casual buyer, when they rip that envelope out, they usually rip the cover at least off the top staple. But somehow they got it out of here. And but when the envelope is there, you want to hold the envelope up to a light and see if the little tattoo, the free, I don't know if it was a press-on tattoo or some kind of water paste tattoo or what it was. But you want to make sure it is actually still there. And it's not here at all, let alone not just in the envelope, but not at all. Black Goliath, #1. It's only a 5-issue series, but it is well worth tracking down. That's a good, fun book. Captain America #118. So that's the second appearance of the Falcon. He made his debut in #117. By this point, he is co-starring in the book, and that's the title as I remember it from when I was a kid. I was probably about 11 or 12 in the 35-cent era. This would have been around 1978 or so. And this is his classic costume from that era. The Eternals #2. All right, well, #13. I was about to say that #1 is the one that's, big money now, but really the entire original series, I think it lasted 19 issues plus an annual. And here's some more books as I'm gabbing. Really, all of those books really took off, from the point the movie was announced. And now there's been kind of another bump now that the latest trailer makes it look like the movie might be actually decent. The first teaser trailer that came out got just a giant yawn and had no impact on the pricing. But the second trailer, I've noticed the books have sort of bumped back up again. Giant size Avengers #1 with the All Winners Squad. Invaders #7, the first appearance of Baron Blood. Gotta love some Baron Blood. Marvel Feature presents the astonishing Ant-Man. So Ant-Man had a feature here for, it wasn't that long. They tried to revive Ant-Man, and it really didn't go. I think it only lasted to like issue 10. Marvel Premiere 16, so this is the second Iron Fist. His first appearance was in #15. Here's 19. 21. And it was after 25 that Iron Fist would graduate into his own title. The Legion of Monsters, kind of a one-off thing with Man-Thing, Morbius, Werewolf by Night, and Ghost Rider. You kind of thought this was going to be something, but nope, just that one issue. Marvel Superheroes was a reprint title of the era. Well, it says all new, though. Huh. Well, it started out as a reprint title, but this says all new. So, I probably just told you a fib. This is the first U.S. appearance of Captain Britain, Marvel Team-Up number 65. Captain Britain is the brother of the X-Men known as Psylocke. I am not saying Shang-Chi, I refuse, or Shawn-Chi, we're not even pronouncing the G at all. I mean, I grudgingly accepted that the leader of Apocalypse is not Darkseid, that he is Darkseid, but I'm sorry. I'm not saying Shang-Chi. It sounds like, to me, all I can think of when people say Shang-Chi is that Bugs Bunny cartoon, with Hansel and Gretel, where it's like, Hansel? So he's Shang-Chi to me, and he always will be. But this is actually his third appearance. He first appeared in Marvel Special Edition number 15, and then in number 16, and then with 17, he graduated into his own title, which was called The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. And that is the indicia title, the official title, Master of Kung Fu. So if you're looking in a price guide or on the Grand Comics database or anything online, don't look under H for hands. Don't look under S for Shang. I almost said Sean. Broke my own rule. And it's Master. It's under M for Master of Kung Fu. So this is the first issue of this title, the third appearance of Shang-Chi. And so that's cool. And these, I haven't really noticed that the movie has had any impact. The first few issues have always done well. The first, two that were Marvel Special Edition, and then this one, maybe 18, 19, 20. But other than that, the series, kind of settles right down. And we have to kind of sell them in lots to really kind of move them. And I haven't noticed that the movie has had much of an impact at all on sales of the comic book. Well, here I was just telling you, Marvel Special Edition featuring The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, and that's number 16. So this is his second appearance. Tales of Asgard, that was a one-shot that collected the backup stories in Journey into Mystery. The backup feature there was Tales of Asgard. Thor, of course, was the lead feature. And so that's an early reprint special edition. Now here's some fun Tales of Suspense, number 90, with a red skull. That's cool. Cool. What if the Punisher's family hadn't been killed? What if? So this is the second volume of What If. I can't remember how many issues the first one went, but I never really collected the second one at all. I did kind of love the first one, though. Avengers 144, first appearance of Patsy Walker as Hellcat. Oh, Dead Robin, Death in the Family, Batman number 428. Spoiler, by the way. Jason Todd bites it in this issue. The readers phoned in. There was a phone poll, if you're not familiar with the story, and you could vote on whether or not you wanted Jason to die or not. I voted yes. I did call in. I did vote yes. I hated Jason Todd. I liked him initially, but after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, when they reintroduced him as like a street punk, and I get that, initially he was kind of a rip on Dick Grayson. He came from the same circus background. But I hated when Max Allan Collins turned him into just this street punk. So I voted to kill him. I did. I am responsible for that. But he got better. I forget why this one's a big deal. Again, the newer books I have a little bit, well, this isn't a really newer book, this is the 90s, but I wasn't buying Marvel at all in the 90s, really. And this one's a thing, but I can't remember why. I'll leave it on the screen if I can figure it out. I don't know why this one's a thing either. 352. Well, this one's obviously Volume 1, Silver Surfer. And Fantastic Four up, well, I would say really almost up until the 25-cent cover prices you can sell them as a single. Maybe, 20, 25 cents. They want to be a little higher grade, to get at least $10 for them on eBay. But below, up until the 15-cent era, almost any grade. I mean, not beat to hell, but Avengers West Coast, number 62. That, of course, is taken off as a result of the WandaVision series. Here is Agent Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1, with the groovy Steranko cover. Inhumans number 1. And Astonishing Tales number 1, featuring Khazar and Doctor Doom. This is the first appearance of Deathlock the Demolisher in Astonishing Tales number 25. Captain Marvel with a nice Pat Broderick cover, number 29. And I think, because I've been a little chatty this video, and so we'll cut it for time after this stack. This will be the last stack for this video. So there's Giant Size Defenders number 3. Champions number 1. Nice. Nice. And if you don't know the story on this book, originally writer Tony Isabella had pitched a buddy book featuring Angel and Iceman, because by this point the new X-Men had made their debut. Cyclops and Phoenix were still in the X-Men. The Beast had adopted his furry form and was, I don't know if he was still appearing in Amazing Adventures, a solo series at this point, but he wasn't long past that, and he was, nosing around the Avengers anyway, and would eventually become an Avenger. But Angel and Iceman had been pretty much, dropped. They were in what we call comic book limbo. So Isabella wanted to do a buddy book with the two of them, and the editor said, well, no, make it a team book. And then he announced the dictates. He stated that every superhero team needed to have a woman, needed to have a strong man character, and needed to have at least one character who had his own series. So that's why this sort of random eclectic mix came about, because they fulfilled the dictates. Black Widow, the female, Hercules, the strong guy, Ghost Rider had his own title. And this series only lasted, 17 issues? And I think it was around issue 8 or 9 I discovered the title as a kid. And I loved it. It was one of my favorites from, 9 to 17, as long as it lasted. Well, see, I told you the Marvel Superheroes was initially a reprint title, and that's pretty evident on this cover. Started out with a king-size special. Marvel Spotlight. This is, I have in the past described this as the first appearance of Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan. And this is actually probably like his third appearance. It's his origin. It's his first solo appearance, but he did appear in the first 2 issues of Ghost Rider. This is part 2 of the first Moon Knight solo story. He appeared in 28 and 29, very early in his career, his publishing career anyway. He'd only made a couple of full appearances and I think a cameo appearance in issues of Werewolf by Night at this point. Here's the introduction of Alpha Flight into the Uncanny X-Men, number 120. Golly. Web of Spider-Man number 1, direct sales copy. $2.99. There's a second McFarlane on Amazing Spider-Man. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, was the title as it was known then. Issue number 5, issue number 2. Here's another number 2. Second Carnage, I think. Iron Man 284, The Death of Anthony Stark. This is the second printing of Incredible Hulk 377, the first appearance of the Professor Hulk, Smarty Pants Hulk. Bone number 1, 7th print. So that was already checked, because that would have gone to CGC had it been a first print, maybe even a second or third. But it's a 7th, so we end up with it here. Here is another second printing. Here is a first printing. And there's also a third printing, which is like a different shade of green. And you have to kind of be careful and check them. But those all look like first to me. Here's the first appearance of Carnage. So that's a big book. Looks like we've got a little bit of a spine roll here in that one. Oh, and that's a good way to close out this box. Ms. Marvel #1. And Power Girl had the boob window. Ms. Marvel had the ab window. So as did Black Goliath, which we saw earlier at the beginning of this box. So there you go. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good time anyway. So we will do the rest of this box tomorrow. Please come back and check that out. But until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.